Welcome back to our YouTube channel, guys. My name is Ardil, and today's video is a sound off episode all about a Lamborghini Aventador. Today's video, we're not only weighing the products in terms of giving you guys a bit more of a comparison between the stock system over what we're putting in, but we're also highlighting a bit more about the truth about what the system you get when you buy a Lamborghini Aventador. Let's get going. Let's start off then by talking about the tweeters, the higher frequencies being dealt with. So this is the Lamborghini Tweeter, and I'm not even sure it's worth weighing it, but this weighs in at 47 grams, an incredibly light bit of kit. Then the Audison Tweeter weighing in at 366 grams, a big difference there. So what are the actual differences between this tweeter and the Audison Tweeter? Well, first of all, size. I mean, just look at the comparison that's in my hand there. The Audison Tweeter is far bigger. Why is the product bigger? Yes, it weighs more. Yes, it's bigger, but is that an indication of a product's actual quality? So this component actually is the B&O tweeter. So it's a factory Audi B&O tweeter. The part numbers on there, it literally says Audi and B&O. So that is the same tweeter you'd be looking at getting in an Audi A3 with the Bang & Olufsen system. Very poor quality, and this is an indication. Obviously, yes, this is a Lamborghini Aventador, but if you bought an Audi A3 or an Audi A5 with Bang & Olufsen, you're getting a similar quality product here. Very poor. But the Audison Tweeter has been specifically designed, manufactured with sound reproduction in mind. It's incredible. The number of cars we've done with this tweeter, Wilfred's Zaha's Aventador, Shmee 150s, SLS Black Series, the Jaguar F-Type we just completed, you name it, the list is literally endless. The product is incredible, sonically makes a world of difference, and we wouldn't do so many of them if that wasn't the case. But just physically you can see the difference. Very small magnet, very poor quality cables basically that go into it. This has got oxygen-free cable running into the tweeter. It's going to have a better sound reproduction in the vehicle. Inside the doors, you've got your main mid-bass woofer. So from Lamborghini, what have we actually got? This is the component, again, very light. That weighs in at 479 grams over what we're putting in, which is the Audison sax. That weighs in at 1,566 grams. Big difference. Obviously, that's not just a component here. What we've got is quite a few elements, and that's what I wanted to show you in today's video as well. When we're doing an install, it's not only about the actual components that we're putting in. There's no point putting in this component if the install is not done correctly. Now, this is how we do these on the Aventadors. It's absolutely incredible. Firstly, we've got a 3D printed speaker adapter with our name embossed into it, which is pretty cool. Then we've also got oxygen-free cabling running from the component down onto an XT60 connector. That connector then allows this system to be fully removable from the car, plus just like the factory system, it can actually be unplugged, disconnected, just like the connector that is on the factory one here. But the component has a metal chassis, very solid, as well as the fact we've got this product here. This grey curve here, what that actually is, something called a skins water guard. It protects moisture from hitting the back of the speaker, as well as it directs some of the sound waves further into the car, and that presses up quite nicely up to the actual door card itself. But massive difference. Exit route for the actual cable, part of the 3D printed design, all makes a big difference when we're looking at mid-bass performance. But let's talk about this then. This is a plastic framework, very cheap, paper cone design. This is what you get when you buy a Lamborghini Aventador. It is absolutely incredible. This, I'm pretty sure, by looking on it, this is the same speaker as an Audi A1. So that's what you're getting when you buy a Lamborghini Aventador, or pretty much any car for that matter. Like you saw with the tweeter, it's a Bang & Olufsen tweeter in a non-Sensinum upgraded car. So this car doesn't have the factory upgraded Sensinum sound system, but it's still got a random B&O tweeter in the car that doesn't have B&O in it. So they're saving money on certain components, because you guys at home can't see this. If you own one of these and you're looking into doing an upgrade, hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea about what you have in your car currently to what you could have in the car. Plus, this car doesn't have a designated sub. which we'll move on to now. It's now time to get some absolute bass into the car. The only comparison we've got, because the car doesn't come with factory sub, is the door speaker. As you guys know, very, very lightweight, poor quality, 478 grams, against the Audison Prima sub, which weighs in at a massive 3,288 grams, so a big, big difference there. But what is the differences? Let's start off by talking about, obviously, the magnet. This has an absolutely massive magnet in comparison to what we've got going on in the door. But you can see the difference, plastic framework, metal framework, same sort of issues. Again, paper cone, cheap design over a product that's been specifically designed for car audio and bass output. This is quite a small sub, so it's an 8-inch sub. You might have had it in your previous cars, or you might have heard of a big 10 or 12 or 15-inch sub going into a vehicle. Yes, that's brilliant, but we've also got a limitation of, obviously, the car that we're working on. It is an Aventador, and if you own one of these, there is no space in the vehicle. If you looked inside one of them, you might be thinking how you can get 2 people in there. But what we're going to be doing is building this into a custom way. This is actually going to be sitting in between the 2 seats in a custom box that still allows retention of the actual little cubby box that we've got below that, as well as the fact it's completely reversible. It can come out and there's not one bit of damage done behind the scenes to the Aventador, so it's fully reversible, which is really, really cool. In terms of this system, bass, what actually is it? Basically, those lower frequencies are dealt by something called excursion of a cone. In layman's terms, moving a cone backwards and forwards, producing more sound waves and more of those lower frequencies. This 8-inch sub is going to way outweigh what the actual factory door speaker was able to produce. Plus, we've now got a designated mid-bass in the car, and we've got separate amplification going to this sub, producing a lot more bass, really moving those sound waves around the car. Now we've got an upgrade of those tweeters with the higher frequencies, the mid-bass, which is going to provide a lot more into those doors and a lot more depth moving forward, but also that bass coming between the seats. And obviously we'll have a little dial to control that bass. You can turn it up and down depending on your music taste. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But we're now sat actually on the side of the vehicle with the car completely stripped out. We've got no seats, no interior whatsoever, no doors. We're even missing the dashboard. You'll find out more about that sort of stuff in the behind the sound episodes, where we go through the whole install, start to finish, on this particular install. So make sure you guys at home subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content, not only on this car, but next up is a Mercedes E53 that we're going to be doing a full transformation on. And we'll also do another sound off video. Let us know in the comments below if you want to see anything else in future videos. Otherwise, see you next time.